What's up YouTube? Austin coming at you with Vaporleaf.com. Today we're going to be talking about the smok M80. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you get inside the box. Alright, so as soon as you take the lid off, we're going to get the device right here. We'll go ahead and pull that off to the side. Pull up this little foam insert. You get your little user's manual right there. A 510 to Ego adapter. Get in on that. And your micro USB to standard USB. Alright, so here's the device here. Let me actually zoom that back in. Alright, so this is going to have a built-in battery. It's going to be 4,400 milliamp hours, so there's no way to take the batteries out. You do have a USB charge port for your USB charge cable. You do get a decent bit of venting right there. On this side, you just have some lines, a little bit for grip, no actual functionality to it other than a little bit of grip to it. Up top, you have some screws and your 510 right there, I believe. No, that seems to be a fixed 510 pin. It doesn't seem to adjust at all. And then on this side, we have our screen and our buttons. Alright, and then on the front side, you just have a little bit of branding, and backside, a little bit of branding as well. No functionality to them once again. As far as the screen here, you have the fire button. It is off right now, so we do 5 clicks to turn it on. I'm going to turn that around for you guys. Alright, so we have wattage down, or I should say power down, power up. It is just going to be controlled in wattage, but this is going to have a few different control modes. So let's actually go ahead and get into that. To get into the menu, it's going to be 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3. This first one is going to be the power setting. We're in temp. And then you've got mech and wattage mode. So temp, you're going to be able to run nickel wire. Mech is going to perform like a mech. It's not going to have any regulation to it. And then wattage is going to be controlled by wattage, obviously. That will have regulation to it, though. So the only time you'll be able to use temperature mode is if you're using nickel wire, which I do have a sub-tank with a nickel coil in that. So we'll get back into the temperature mode in just a minute. But right now we're in the mech, right down here. Let me see if I can get this focused in here. You can see the VM. So mech mode, voltage, mech mode. Once you actually are firing something on there, it'll show you the voltage and everything. At the moment it's reading a 0.26 because the last thing it had on there was a 0.26, and 0 watts at the moment just because it's not adjusted to anything. So 1, 2, 3, click, and we're gonna go ahead and go to temp mode. I'll go ahead and screw my sub tank on there that has a nickel coil in it. And since it doesn't have an adjustable pin to it, it does have a little bit of a gap and a little bit of a wiggle to it, so that's something to keep in mind there. Right now I have it set at 500 degrees and 56.2 watts. How you want to think of that is your degrees right there is basically your limiter. You can't go past that temperature. The device won't let the coil get past that temperature. It's controlling it to that temperature. Whereas the wattage back here, you want to think of like your acceleration, or if you're a car guy, your torque. How quickly it can get you up to that speed. So if you're wanting it to be a little bit of a cooler vape that kind of eases into it, you might want to set the temperature a bit lower and have your wattage a bit lower. I like a pretty hot vape, so I have it set up at 500 watts and 56.2. You can see that the wattage never gets up to that 56.2. Kind of caps out right around that 40 watts, but having it up at that 50, it does kind of help it get up to that power level quicker. So I like it to be pretty hot and angry right off the bat, so that's why I have it set up there. Let's get back into the menu here. 1, 2, 3. Second one, this is going to be your puff counter. It's kind of somewhat of a digital nanny. I'll get into that a little bit more here in a second. 3 is going to be date and time. 4 is going to be your temperature. So right now I have it set at 500 degrees. We can drop it pretty remarkably low. So 200 degrees, that'll barely fire anything. And I believe it'll go up to 900 degrees, which is really hot. I don't need to be firing it at that, so go back into that. I'm going to go ahead and set it back to the 500 degrees where I was at. And now it's not surpassing that 500. Alright. And then our last menu here is the 5 on, 5 off. Excuse me, not 5 on, 5 off. Wow, going back to ego styles there. That's how you're going to be able to turn the device on and off. If you click it 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll lock it. And at that point, when you hit the fire button, it'll pull up your date and time. So it's not firing it, it's just pulling up date and time. 5 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's going to fire it. But to physically turn the device off, 1, 2, 3, we'll go to that last menu there, and we'll go ahead and turn it off, which is just by the fire button there. It says a little goodbye there. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome, and we're back up and running. So pretty quick on and off there. It is kind of a pain to fully turn it off, but you can just lock it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're not able to adjust anything, and hitting the fire button just shows you a date and time on it. So pretty neat there. As far as the digital nanny, let me unlock this real quick. Oops. So you can set your max puffs here. Let's see what our max is here. I would assume it's going to be 999. Yes, it is. So you can set your max puffs to 999, kind of a digital nanny there. So if you're attempting to quit smoking and you really want to be vigilant on how much you're puffing a day, this can definitely be a help to you. Alright. And there we go. Alright, so once again, 4400 milliamp hour battery built in, so there's no way you can change that. Has a standard 510 connection that does not have an adjustable 510 pin to it. Nice aluminum body construction to it, fairly simple menu to it. It can run temperature, which is really nice. Let's see what the lowest resistance we can have here. Okay, so it is capable of firing a 0.1 atomizer all the way up to a 3 ohm atomizer, if that's what tickles your fancy. And other than that, it's just a nice solid little device. If you're planning on just using a sub tank, a cardo tank, aero tank, anything like that, this is going to be a fantastic device for you. Future-proofs you a little bit. If you're planning on using nickel wired, all this is definitely going to be able to fire it for you. Haven't had any issues with that thus far. So really great all-around device. I'm going to be able to hit 80 watts, 4400 milliamp hour battery, 510 connection, charges from the bottom. Some decent venting right there. So that's going to be the X Pro M80 Plus by SmokeTech. Once again, guys, if you want to get these great videos more, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook for more. Have a great day, guys. Bye.